You are listening to Three Kitchens Podcast, hosted by Heather Dyer and Erin Walker. To find our complete catalog of episodes, check out any of your favorite podcast players.
Or our website, threekitchenspodcast.com.
I've got something busy today on Three Kitchens Podcast. I'm Erin Walker, and joining me is Heather Dyer. And
Hello, everyone.
we are your weekly...
Erin's cooking.
Yay!
Sorry. I'm so excited. I'm so happy when it's your turn to cook.
Right now it is super novel because we haven't cooked for each other in a while, and it does feel so extra special.
Yes.
But we are your weekly inspiration in your home kitchens, coming at you through your favorite podcast player.
Or YouTube.
Or
I guess
YouTube.
that's just one of the possible favorite podcast players at this point, isn't it? Because lots of people listen
I'm thinking
and watch.
so. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I am taking on mystery item, although I don't have it from the produce section. I came across an article in The Guardian, sort of in their culture section. They've got a kitchen. They've always got a recipe and then some cooking advice. And I came across this over the summer, and the article was called Sour Power: The Best Way to Use Tamarind Pods, Pulp, and Paste. So,
I'm like so curious because I actually don't know anything about it. I didn't know it was sour even. So when you said sour power, I'm like, oh, what?
yeah. So
Cool.
the article talks about how it can be used in sweet and savory dishes. You can there's a few different ways of getting it. You can get the pods themselves. You can get a pulp or a paste. Again, depending on how much you're going through. If you've got higher forms of it, you have to soak it and rehydrate it. And it sounds like it takes a lot of work. So I went the easy route and I found a paste at the store. Comes in a little bag.
Look at that.
It kind of has the texture of like dates, like it's very squishy.
Okay, but it's like a block.
But it's a block of it.
Cool.
And I believe this one is also seedless and a product of Thailand. So, a little bit about the tamarind, because if you're like me, I knew nothing about it. And I guessed that you possibly might have some questions. So, the tamarind tree is a tropical tree that is indigenous to the tropical parts of Africa, although it has been cultivated throughout Africa and South Asia for quite a long time. It was also introduced to Mexico and Central America during our human migration over there in the 16th century. And the whole plant essentially is quite edible. So you can eat the leaves in salad. The seeds can be roasted or boiled. I think there's a process of processing them before you can eat them. And obviously the pulp from the fruit can be eaten as well. And so the tamarind tree grows these brown pod-like structures that are a fruit that has this edible pulp, and you can buy it, like I did, without seeds in it, so you don't have to worry about that. And this was really cool. We're actually really familiar with tamarind because it is one of the main ingredients in Worcestershire sauce.
Oh.
Cool, hey?
Oh, I had no idea.
I had no idea. And when I read that online, I was like, what? No way. So I marched on over to my fridge and pulled out my Worcestershire, and the sugars that are in there come from tamarind.
Huh. I wonder why that was the choice of sugar for the sauce.
I believe it must be this flavor because it is common in these. It can be found, I think, also in HP sauce. So it's got this sour flavor to it. that must add something to these sauces we're using it in. So, brief
Cool.
information about tamarind. And so we're going to take this edible pulp and we are going to go on a tour of recipes with this. I have found
Ooh.
4 different things I'm going to make. So either we are going to like it or realize just how much we don't like it by the end of this episode. Fingers crossed we like it. And I figure this way, if you're going to buy some, I mean, this is 400 grams of tamarind pulp, paste, flesh
Okay.
that
Flesh.
that we've got here. And if I'm going to open this up, I want to have a bunch of ways to use it. And that way, if you do choose to go out and buy it, you don't have to use it for like the same dish over and over and over and over again, right? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
sometimes you buy a special ingredient just for one dish, and then you're like, oh, well, now what do I do with the rest of it? And it, sits in your freezer, your cupboard forever. And you're like, well, I liked that, but I'm not going to cook it every week. What else can I do with it?
Hmm.
So,
Good idea. Yeah.
options, varieties, and maybe some stuff that we love and some stuff that we don't love. Who
We're
knows?
gonna find out.
So, I've got a marinade that I'm going to make, and I'm going to make it on chicken wings because I think
Mm.
what better way to use like a barbecue sauce or have something a little bit different than on wing night. So
Love
I'm
it.
excited about that. So we'll do some chicken wings. There is a rice dish that's got
Mm.
it's got caramelized onions and a tamarind base in it. So we'll see what that is for a side. I've got a quick bread.
Oh,
So this will be on the sweet side. And
that's
it's got,
interesting.
yeah, so it's got the tamarind pulp in it. It's got ginger in it. It's going to have some nuts in there. It's got dates in it. So I think, oh, and it's got cumin in it. So I think it's going to be this really warm sort of bread that's going to have all these great, you know, they seem like fall flavors to me. And since,
Yeah.
we're kind of
Yeah.
hitting the season of some of those warmer recipes and some of that really intense flavor in our baking. I think this
Mm.
could be really interesting. I'm quite excited to try that out. And
Yeah.
then finally, I have come across a mocktail that has tamarind and pineapple and lime in it because in this recipe, or sorry, in the article from The Guardian, they mentioned that pineapple and tamarind are synonymous with Malaysia. And they can be used to make like an upside down cake, which I thought was really interesting. But then I came across this recipe for a mocktail, and it talks about having a spiced rim on it. And I started thinking about some things, and I think I'm going to make that spiced rim out of tahini because it's already got a little
Mm.
bit of spice, the salt and the lime, and we know it goes well with pineapple because we keep hearing this, and this tamarind. And I think all those flavors are going to come together and make this great like punch that, you know,
Wow.
add something to your, special drinks table.
Oh, I love all of these ideas. I can't
Yay!
wait.
Okay,
So curious.
so we're gonna have a tamarind extravaganza over at my house.
Yum.
So we'll see. I don't know if I'm gonna make these all at once or I might do like a couple and deliveries and we'll work through this because it's a lot. But I want to give everybody a whole bunch of choices because different things are going to sound attractive to different people. And depending on what you feel like taking on, I think these are all going to be simple, obtainable, and hopefully delicious
Hmm.
for
Ooh,
everyone to
well,
try.
we better get off of here
Okay.
because the second half is gonna be
It is
it's
going to
gonna
be
take
big.
some time to talk through all these recipes. So you we better
Hopefully,
save
they're
all our
just
airtime.
easy. They all
Yeah.
seem really basic. So that should help. It's just going to be a matter of discussing what we think of all this and
Yeah.
the flavor of it. So,
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
can't wait. Have fun.
All right. Are you ready for an onslaught of tamarind recipes?
Am I? Oh, I can't wait to talk about these.
I just kept showing up to your house, and by the end of it, you were like, "Are you seriously still cooking stuff? What is this now?"
Well, by the last one, I'd forgotten that there was still another one to come, and one of my kids had picked
Yes.
it up at the door and brought it to me, and I was like, "What did she make now? Did I forget about something?" And then I looked at it, I'm like, "Oh, tamarind is still going. I forgot."
This is the tamarind that never ends.
Festival of tamarind.
Yeah. So I made four different recipes for this, and yeah, I would say, in my opinion, 3 out of 4 ain't bad, baby.
Oh, I can't wait to talk. See if our three match up because I
Okay,
kind of agree.
okay. I think they will,
I think
but
so
let's
too.
go for it. So the first thing I made was tamarind chicken wings. So anyone who's listened to us before knows I like to chop up my whole chickens and reserve the wings. And then after, 7 or 8 chickens, it's wings night. And from now on, wings night is going to be these wings.
Oh, it's
So,
a bold statement.
oh,
That's how much she loved it.
these were freaking awesome. Okay. So, simple marinade that I made here, it was olive oil, tamarind, chipotle chilies, paprika, salt, garlic, and pepper. So you're just mixing together a marinade.
And it's the paste, like that tamarind.
So it is a block of tamarind pulp
Yeah,
paste.
pulp is what I'm, yeah.
Pulp is maybe a better word. I
Hmm.
noticed like there were some seeds caught up in it. It doesn't break apart great, and you kind of end up with all the chunks after you've marinated and taken it out, but
Okay.
you get the flavor.
Hmm.
So that's the important part. The thing that I find that I've learned now working with the product that I do have is it's all about extracting the flavor from it and maybe not necessarily keeping the fruit
Pulp.
itself,
Yeah.
the pulp itself, because it's
Mhm.
it's kind of like a date in that it doesn't really dissolve into things, but you get the flavor out. So with these chicken wings, mix together that marinade, pop your wings in, coat everything, and I toss them in the fridge overnight for maximum flavor. So then to cook these babies on my barbecue, I did the indirect heat on the top rack of my barbecue at around 400 to 425 for about 15 minutes until they're cooked through. So simple, quick, easy, so good.
So good. Now, this was the first thing
Hmm.
that you delivered to me, and I honestly couldn't pick out tamarind flavor. And I
Okay.
didn't, so my husband was like, "Ooh, Erin made wings, yay!" And he was so excited. And I said, "Okay, try them and then tell me what flavor you're getting from it."
Hmm.
And he was just like, butter. They taste buttery. He just kept saying butter. And I was like, "What? I don't know what you're talking
What
about."
does that mean?
What do you mean they taste buttery? Um, but I was trying to pick out what does tamarind taste like based on these chicken wings?
Mm.
No freaking idea. I honestly, they are delicious and I
Hmm.
wanted to keep eating them. They're so good. But I don't know what the tamarind flavor was from these wings.
Gotcha.
Did you?
So,
Like,
so I did have a chance to like taste the tamarind by itself, and I meant to give you some. I still have
mm,
some. Maybe I'll do that.
I think I might know
It's
now what it
it's
tastes
like
like after the other
licking,
two.
yeah, it's like licking a lemon almost. Like it's got a very sour flavor. And it was interesting because when I made these wings and my family ate it, my husband was like, "Are these like a Mexican flavor or an Asian flavor?" because of the chipotle and then the tamarind and the garlic and everything in there. I was like, oh, it's kind of like a fusion of both of those things. So ding ding. Yes, in that
Whatever,
pepper, right?
whatever this thing is,
Mhm.
it's meant for chicken wings.
It's meant for chicken wings. This recipe was actually for a whole chicken to
Mm.
do this and
Oh, that'd be
marinate
good
it
too.
and then make a whole chicken like this. I would say go for that if that's
Hmm.
what you want. Anyway, put it on chicken
Yeah.
and make it up. So, recipe one,
Success.
ding ding, gold star.
Yes.
Okay.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner, in fact.
Winner, winner, chicken. Okay. Recipe the second, caramelized red onion with tamarind. Oh,
No. I'm like,
I can't
what?
read. No,
No.
try that again.
Yeah.
Caramelized red onion rice with tamarind. Here's your side dish with some tamarind in it. So the beauty that I loved about this recipe is that you cooked your rice, you cooked up this flavorful topping to mix into your rice, and then you combined the two things together. So if you've got kids that don't like everything, or the kid that just wants to eat white rice, or people who have different preferences in their food, you can just leave out their little portion of rice, not mix it in. And I don't know, I kind of like just mixing it all together at the end. It kind of coats everything and it's fresh and ready to go. So cook some basmati rice, a cup and a half of rice, 2-3 cups of water was the amount for this recipe. And then in a separate pan, you're going to take a tablespoon of sesame seeds and toast them. Then you're going to then I added some oil to the pan and some thinly sliced red onions and just cooked those until they caramelized down. And so because that's a longer process, while your rice is cooking, you're working on this caramelizing onions thing, two for one kind of deal.
Hmm.
And then you're going to add in cumin seeds, tamarind paste, salt, pepper, and a pinch of cayenne. Could have maybe moistened the tamarind a little bit so that it was more evenly distributed in the
Mm.
rice because it is a thick and sticky glob that
Yeah.
doesn't break down super easy. So maybe next time I would soften it in a bit of water before putting it into the pan. It was only 2 teaspoons of
Mm.
tamarind. So I think
Okay.
if you just added a tablespoon of water to that, like hot boiled water, and just let it sit so that some of the flavor comes out and you don't get the pulp, you could do that as well.
Hmm.
Mix it together and serve it up. Again, like easy to do, a fun little zhuzh up on your rice. And for me, I really enjoyed these flavors and I loved the cumin seeds in there because they were like this crunchy little pop with the rice and yum.
This is good.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. This is yummy. I mean, I liked it all together and I shared it with my son and he loved it too. So I think kids would go for this.
I think
Even the
so.
ones who do, like you said, like kind of a plain rice. It's not like smack you in the face,
No.
um, some strong flavor or something in there.
Mhm.
I think kids would like it too.
Yeah,
It's
like
yummy.
I kind of think of how I've made like a lemon rice in the past and it's got that tart,
Hmm.
sharp flavor. And then you add some you have that with something that's really fatty and it all the flavors come together really good. I think
Hmm.
this is the same sort of thing. You've got that like sharp tart flavor, but then you've also got the onions and the creaminess that kind of comes from that in here. I don't know. I was all over this rice.
Hmm. It was so good. And nobody's gonna know that that's what's in there. Like if you do have that
No,
picky eater and they don't want to hear about some ingredient they've never heard of before, sometimes it's all in their head.
absolutely.
This one, you don't have to tell them, and they're
Mhm.
not going to guess. They just know it tastes good.
Yeah.
So,
And
yeah.
I feel like kids are kind of, I mean, they like that sour flavor,
Hmm.
especially if
Yeah.
it's paired right with things. So,
And it's so interesting because it's not sour like it's not astringent. It's not gonna like make you go
no, it
like you're
doesn't make
watching
your
my face.
face.
Yeah, it doesn't give you that puckered, like it's not that sour. It's hard to describe. It's like a sweet and sour kind of thing.
It's like sour without the puckeriness.
Yeah, yeah.
It's, well, I was gonna say it's almost like the salted lemon, but then that's salty.
Yeah, that's a different
Mm, yeah,
intensity.
exactly.
God, that reminds me I need to make some. Sorry.
God, that
So easily
reminds me.
distracted by salted lemons.
Tangent, squirrel. Yeah. So the rice, fun side dish. And
Mm.
if you're not, so the only complaint in my house was the crunchiness of the cumin seeds. They didn't like the crunch in there, and I was like, wow, that's an issue. But I think you
I
could
was gonna
put,
be like, is that all you got? Because
I think if you wanted to use like cumin powders, I would just maybe do like half as much because it wasn't a super strong cumin flavor,
Mhm.
and then you'd be golden.
Yeah.
The pineapple and tamarind mixer.
Mixa?
Mixer.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know. It was this wonderful little drink. So it was a few little pieces that I would say make ahead of time. This isn't something I think you're going to whip up like that.
Okay.
But if you want to have, you know, a special cocktail or a different drink, and I think it makes a really good mocktail too. Like you don't have to put alcohol in it. So if you're serving this to people, you can make these pieces ahead of time. They sit in your fridge and then it's mix, mix, go.
Mm.
And I think if you're making a good cocktail, you should have to do a little bit of work ahead of time to make those little pieces and make it out of fresh ingredients because fresh is best when you're
Mhm.
making these drinks. So, uh, first, pineapple juice. So I bought a pineapple, I chopped it, blended it, and strained it. So that took
Wow.
time. And one whole pineapple gave me 2 cups of juice. Again, you could just go buy fresh pineapple juice at the store too, and that's totally valid. To make the tamarind part of the mixture, tamarind pulp in hot water. So you're just going to mix the two together, let it sit and mush it and mash it around, and then put it through a strainer. And do that with like half the water, then put the pulp back into the same cup, add the other half of water, mix it, mush it, let it sit. And so you're just really extracting as much of the flavor from the pulp and leaving all the skin and tissue and whatever behind from the fruit
Mhm.
so you don't get that. So once you've got that, you're going to add in some maple syrup to it and mix the two together. And that's kind of your second little jar for your mixer. So you've got your pineapple juice, your tamarind, and then um, lime juice. So again, freshly squeezed lime juice. It was easy. And for the ratios, this was 2 limes. And then crushed ice. And if you're going to make this, you got to rim your glass with some tahini.
It's essential.
It's essential.
It just like tops it off perfectly.
Oh, so
Oh,
good. So the recipe recommended like salt and habanero powder and like making this, and it's all like be careful working with spicy powders. And I was like, God, this sounds too much.
I don't want
I
to
was,
burn my lips off
I don't
when
want
I
to burn my
drink it.
lips off. And tahine is, you can buy it at different spice levels. I've only found the mild at the store, but I think if and when I do find a spicier version, it
Hmm.
would be really good with this because that little kick of
Yeah.
spice, the salt, and then these sweet and sour flavors in here. Ding
Mm,
ding. I really liked this.
I did too. And again, I shared it with my son. He got all the tamarind. Sorry, I forgot the name of it for a second. All the tamarind experience. So I shook that up because you gave it
Yep.
to me already mixed in a jar. I shook it up with ice and we rimmed our glasses and then um, poured it in. And it's almost like reminds me of like like a nice cold cider, like an apple cider. You know,
Ooh.
like a fresh apple juice. When I
Okay.
say cider, I don't mean like a fermented, I mean like a
Mm-hmm.
juice because it's that kind of a little bit thick, but
Mm-hmm.
not pulpy. Um, and it's really, you can tell it's like fresh juice.
Mm-hmm.
So delicious. And my son was like over the moon with his rim and his drink. And then you had suggested to me that because you're not a spirit drinker, but I am, and you suggested that tequila might be good in it, and it was. I am
Oh,
here to tell you, fantastic.
oh,
Great as a
yay.
mocktail, great as a cocktail. I say, like, do it whichever way you like. Oh, so delicious. Mm,
Yeah, I thought this was super tasty. I really loved stumbling upon this drink.
delicious. And that tahine really just, I
Mm,
don't know, just elevates it, just
yeah.
zhuzhes the whole thing up.
It's a mixture
Perfect.
of lime, salt, and chili powder are
Mm.
the, I believe, the three main ingredients in the tahine powder that you buy. And it's just, mm.
Another
Okay.
winner. So good. So
Tamarind recipe number three. Ding ding.
Tamarind is on a roll. Are
Tamarind
you
for the
gonna keep it
win.
going or are you gonna stop the roll?
The last recipe that I made
Mhm.
was for a tamarind quick bread that I made into muffins. And I thought, you know what, it is so much easier to bake some muffins and share them with you than to do the whole loaf.
Mhm.
So,
And it's quicker. It's a quicker bake.
and it is a quicker bake. It cuts down on time, and
Psst.
I'm at recipe 4. So,
Yeah.
so this quick bread um, used the same sort of process that I described for extracting flavor in the drink, where you're putting in the tamarind pulp in a glass, you're adding hot boiled water, and then you're letting it sit and you're smushing it around to extract the flavor out. And then you're just using that flavored water and
It's almost
discarding
like
all the
a
pulp.
it's almost like a syrup.
It gets really thick.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm assuming, got some sugars in it and just, yeah, it is pretty thick
Mm.
once you've extracted it. And so for this recipe, you mix together your dry ingredients, which were flour, ginger, pepper, cumin, baking powder, baking salt, or baking soda, and salt. And then you mix together your wet ingredients, which are brown sugar, oil, eggs, and then the tamarind liquid.
Mhm.
Put those two things together, mix it up. And I also added walnuts in here because it recommended a nut. And I thought, yum, sounds good. It did suggest putting in dates, but I felt like too many flavors were going on. Kind of knew what I was getting for flavor, and I thought, I'm gonna go without the dates. Baked it in the oven, did I write that down? 18 to 20 minutes till the cake tester came out clean and it was fully cooked. And then I just made a simple kind of glaze to put on top, which was just icing sugar and some of the tamarind extract, I guess we'll call it, from the mixing of the tamarind juice there. Yeah.
I love that face.
I'm hesitant to recommend this. I think there are things to be done that would make this something I would like better. Where are you at, Heather?
I'm just struggling, and I've
You
been
also have a
thinking
face.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this ever since I tried them. How do I describe what it tastes like? And it's different, I felt, than the other tamarind recipes. It's not really what I was expecting. I thought it might be a little more mild. This one really packs a punch. Like that flavor is intense in this one. It's not like a little bit of a subtle background player, which is what I feel like tamarind kind of has been in the other recipes to this point. It's been a bit more like blends with other things, and it's kind of like it enhanced the dish. This was more like, you want some tamarind? Here you go. Have some tamarind right in the face. Like it's very strong.
Yeah.
And it was almost overwhelming. Like, but it's interesting because it was one of those things where you take a bite and you go, oh wow. And then you think about it, well, I better try a bit more. And before you know it, the whole muffin's gone and you're still wondering if you liked it. But you've eaten the whole muffin. So I can't say I didn't like it. It was so different than anything I've ever eaten, I think. Like,
I feel like the spices in there also mismatched for me when it came to something sweet. I am a lover of cumin. I would not put cumin in a muffin again. I tried it. The recipe suggested. I would not do that again. I think the ginger was a good idea in there. But I think I would maybe only use the ground ginger rather than the fresh as well. Because it almost was like too much with the tamarind. Like I felt like the tamarind and the ginger were both very overwhelming. And I think cinnamon would have been an obvious win to me in this split. Like my kids were like, you should make this with like pumpkin. Like this would be better with pumpkin. And I was like, well, I think maybe pumpkin spices. And maybe less of the tamarind because it was really intense.
Yeah. What I did like is it's nice and moist. I thought like it's a bit like a dessert kind of muffin, especially with the glaze on top. And I did really like that it was kind of felt like a sweet treat.
Yeah.
For a muffin. It was just too much in your face.
Yeah, and I liked I thought the glaze with the tamarind in it was really good. And I almost think just making that glaze on a pumpkin muffin, like a pumpkin spice muffin, would be...
Or on a nice, just like kind of a plain zucchini muffin. Let that be the bold flavor.
Yeah, it just felt like too much flavor in too many of the pieces.
Yeah.
But we definitely know what tamarind tastes like now.
We do. Yeah, that was interesting. It was funny because after you dropped it, you texted me and said, well, see what you think of this one. And I knew immediately that I was in for something fun.
That was my little like warning so you didn't get a huge bite of something that you maybe didn't like.
Well, it's so funny. Like I said, I don't know that I didn't like it. I just felt like it was too bold.
Yeah.
And if it had been a bit more subtle, I
Hmm.
think I would have enjoyed it more.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So when I post this recipe, I am going to make modifications. And because cooking up a batch of muffins is easy, it's, pretty simple to do. So I think I'm going to actually go back and redo this for us.
Mm.
And so you should get some, hopefully, more subtle, relaxed tamarind flavors. And not so much a punch in the face.
Just like take it easy, Tamarind. Like you need to calm down. Just
Chill,
like
Tamarind.
chill.
Chill. We're gonna start the trend, Heather. Tamarind is gonna be the food trend of as soon as this episode comes out and beyond.
Like the trend of when.
And now for the fine print. Links to recipes and other things we talked about in this episode can be found in the show notes or on our website, www.threekitchenspodcast.com. Come say hello on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, YouTube, and TikTok. We'd love to connect. And if you enjoy the show, pass it on. Word of mouth is the #1 way people learn about new podcasts. Thank you so much for listening.